Mr. President, I have not seen him in 2026 to wish him a happy new year. But also, very importantly, yesterday we saw how the world's most powerful man, President Donald Trump of the United States of America, acknowledging not just the President of Nigeria, First Lady, describing her as a very respectable woman, a very responsible woman, and a pastor of the largest church in Nigeria. And he invited her to stand up for recognition. Now, if you see how some other presidents are even, the kind of language, President Trump is very blunt. So when he uses those kind of words to describe our First Lady, as a Nigerian, I feel proud. And I thought it's important enough for us to say, Mr. President, congratulations. Because if it was the other way around, imagine what the opposition would be saying now. And for Trump to say, Nigeria First Lady is here. He is a Christian, but also a Christian pastor. A woman that commands respect, a responsible and respectable woman. So congratulations. And you saw the applause. He was beaming to recognize the First Lady. So for me as a Nigerian, that for me is worth celebrating. First and foremost, to the credit of Mr. President, that Trump understands that the Nigerian president is a Muslim, but he now celebrates the fact that he has a Christian wife who is also a pastor of the largest church in Nigeria. So there can be no tension between the Quran and the Bible. And that for me is a message to all Nigerians that we should just work together as a people for the common good. If there are challenges, we face them collectively as a people. If there are benefits, we share the benefit equitably to our people. For me, that is the central message. We mustn't run down our country. We have issues together, we will fix them.
Today's gist is about Senator Adams Oshiomhole praising United States President Donald Trump after he publicly recognized Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, during an international gathering in Washington. The moment has created many conversations in Nigeria, especially among political watchers and people who follow international relations closely. Before we continue, please like this video and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss important updates like this. Many Nigerians first heard about the story when clips started circulating showing the First Lady being acknowledged in front of a large audience. According to reports shared by Nigerian politicians, Donald Trump spoke respectfully about her role and invited her to stand for recognition. For supporters of the current government, this was seen as a positive diplomatic moment, something that places Nigeria in a good light on the global stage. Soon after, Senator Adams Oshiomhole reacted publicly and said that the recognition was not just about one person, but about Nigeria as a country being respected internationally. Oshiomhole explained that moments like this send a message that Nigeria still has influence beyond its borders. He pointed out that President Bola Tinubu and the First Lady come from different religious backgrounds, and he described the recognition as a symbol of unity and peaceful coexistence. According to him, when world leaders acknowledge Nigerian representatives in a positive way, it helps to improve the country's image and encourages stronger diplomatic relationships. Now, let us look deeper at why this moment is getting attention. International recognition of political figures often carries meaning beyond the surface. Some observers believe it shows that Nigeria remains important in global conversations, especially in areas like security cooperation, faith diplomacy, and economic partnership. Others say it is simply a polite gesture that should not be exaggerated. But whether people agree or not, the story has created strong reactions online, with many Nigerians sharing different opinions. Supporters of the government say the recognition proves that Nigeria's leadership is gaining respect internationally. They believe that positive engagement abroad can attract opportunities, encourage partnerships, and build a better reputation for the country. Some even say it shows that the First Lady's activities outside Nigeria are being noticed by influential figures. On the other hand, critics have asked whether international praise really changes the daily experience of ordinary citizens. They argue that recognition from foreign leaders is meaningful only when it is followed by improvements at home. These mixed reactions show how complex Nigerian politics can be, because people see events through different personal and political perspectives. As the conversation continued, Oshiomhole visited the presidential villa in Abuja and spoke to journalists. He described the moment as proof that Nigeria is a nation where diversity can be a strength. He emphasized that unity across religious and cultural lines should be celebrated rather than turned into division. For him, the recognition was not only about diplomacy but also about national pride. Many viewers may be wondering why a public acknowledgement at an event can create such strong discussions. In international relations, small gestures often carry symbolic weight. When a well-known global figure recognizes a political personality from another country, it can influence how audiences around the world perceive that country. Even simple moments can shape narratives about leadership, cooperation, and influence. The First Lady herself has been active in several international engagements, and supporters believe that these visits help promote Nigeria's soft power. Soft power is a way countries build influence through culture, dialogue, and public image instead of strict political agreements. By attending global events and interacting with world leaders, public figures sometimes help change how their nation is viewed abroad. Another angle to this story is the ongoing discussion about Nigeria's image internationally. Over the years, Nigeria has faced both praise and criticism from global observers. Stories about culture, music, and business success often highlight the country's positive side, while conversations about security and economic challenges sometimes create negative headlines. Because of this, moments of international recognition become important talking points, especially for political supporters who want to show a different narrative. As reactions continue to spread, some analysts describe the recognition as part of a broader diplomatic effort. They believe Nigeria is trying to strengthen relationships with major global powers through both official meetings and cultural engagements. These analysts say that even symbolic moments can open doors for deeper conversations behind the scenes, although the full impact may not be visible immediately. Let us also talk about Adams Oshiomhole himself. He is a strong political voice in Nigeria, known for speaking openly about national issues. Because of his experience as a former governor and party leader, his comments often attract attention. When he praises an international event like this, supporters see it as an endorsement of the government's diplomatic strategy, while critics may view it as political positioning. This balance of support and criticism is normal in any democracy where people hold different opinions. Many Nigerians watching this story have also raised questions about how global leaders choose to recognize certain figures at public events. Some say these moments are planned ahead of time, while others believe they happen naturally during gatherings. Whatever the case, the recognition has become a trending topic, with people debating its meaning across social media platforms. Another interesting part of the gist is how faith and politics sometimes connect in international diplomacy. The event where the recognition happened reportedly involved faith leaders and discussions about shared values. In situations like this, religious and cultural identities often become part of diplomatic conversations, especially when leaders from different backgrounds come together. Supporters of the First Lady say her presence in such spaces highlights Nigeria's diverse identity. While discussing the story, some commentators have also reminded Nigerians to remain respectful in online conversations. The First Lady previously encouraged citizens to reduce negative language on social media and focus on constructive discussions. This message has been repeated by several political figures who believe respectful dialogue helps the country's image both locally and internationally. At this point in the gist, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying the update so far. Your support helps this platform continue to bring balanced news and engaging discussions. As the story continues to develop, it has sparked broader questions about the role of public figures in shaping national perception. In many countries, first ladies and first gentlemen often take on diplomatic roles that involve charity work, advocacy, and international representation. When they receive recognition abroad, it sometimes reflects the image their country wants to project to the world. Some viewers have compared this moment to previous instances where Nigerian leaders were acknowledged on global stages. These comparisons show how important international visibility can be for a nation that wants to strengthen its global partnerships. At the same time, people remind each other that recognition alone does not solve domestic challenges, which is why conversations remain balanced between celebration and reflection. Another reason the story is trending is because of Donald Trump's global influence. Regardless of political opinions, his public statements often generate strong reactions. When he acknowledges a foreign political figure, it quickly becomes a topic of analysis. In this case, his recognition of Nigeria's First Lady has opened a window for discussions about Nigeria-US relations and how the two countries continue to engage with each other. Supporters believe that moments like this can help rebuild trust between nations and encourage cooperation in areas such as education, business, and cultural exchange. Critics, however, say that diplomatic relationships should be measured by long-term results rather than symbolic gestures. This difference in perspective keeps the conversation lively and shows how Nigerians engage deeply with political news. As we continue the gist, it is important to note how storytelling in politics often shapes public perception. When a respected politician like Oshiomhole describes an event as a diplomatic victory, it influences how supporters interpret the moment. At the same time, independent observers may look at the situation from a more neutral angle, focusing on facts rather than political messaging. This mix of viewpoints is what makes Nigerian political discussions dynamic and sometimes emotional. Another layer to the story is the idea of national pride. Many citizens feel proud when Nigerian personalities are recognized abroad because it highlights the country's presence on the world stage. Even people who may not fully support the current government sometimes acknowledge that positive international attention can be encouraging. However, others remain cautious, reminding everyone that real progress must be visible in everyday life. In recent years, social media has played a huge role in shaping how stories like this spread. Within minutes of the recognition, different versions of the story began circulating online, with supporters sharing celebratory messages and critics raising questions. This rapid flow of information shows how quickly public opinion can form in today's digital age. Some analysts also believe that the recognition could influence future diplomatic engagements. When world leaders acknowledge each other publicly, it sometimes leads to more invitations, collaborations, or cultural exchanges. Although the long-term outcome is still uncertain, many observers are watching closely to see whether this moment will lead to new opportunities for Nigeria. At the heart of the conversation is a simple question: what does international recognition really mean for a country? For some people, it represents validation and respect. For others, it is only meaningful when it leads to tangible improvements. These different interpretations show that political news is rarely one-sided. Instead, it reflects a wide range of experiences and expectations. As we move closer to the end of the gist, let us reflect on how this story connects to the bigger picture of Nigeria's place in the world. Nigeria is often described as a cultural and economic powerhouse in Africa, and events like this remind people that the country continues to attract global attention. Whether that attention is viewed positively or critically depends on individual perspectives, but it keeps Nigeria part of important international conversations. Oshiomhole's comments have added another layer to the discussion by framing the recognition as a sign of unity and respect. His message encourages Nigerians to focus on shared values rather than differences, especially during times when political debates can become intense. Whether people agree with him or not, his statement has helped keep the story in the public eye. Before we conclude, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you appreciate clear and balanced storytelling. Your support makes a big difference and helps this platform grow. To round up everything, the recognition of Nigeria's First Lady by United States President Donald Trump has become more than just a simple moment at an international event. It has turned into a national conversation about diplomacy, unity, image, and political interpretation. Senator Adams' Oshiomhole's praise has added energy to the discussion, with supporters calling it a sign of respect for Nigeria and critics reminding everyone to stay focused on issues at home. As always, the truth of any political story lies in understanding multiple perspectives. Some people see the recognition as a positive sign that Nigeria remains influential globally. Others view it as a symbolic gesture that should not overshadow local priorities. Both views show how deeply Nigerians care about their country's direction and reputation. The story also reminds us that international relations are built not only through official meetings but also through public moments that capture attention. A single acknowledgement on a global stage can spark weeks of conversation, analysis, and debate. In this case, it has encouraged Nigerians to think about how the country is seen abroad and what kind of image it wants to project to the world. Thank you for staying through this detailed gist. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you can always receive real-time news presented in simple and clear English. More updates and engaging stories are coming, and your support keeps the conversation alive.